Good evening, everyone. I'd like to formally welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting for the election of the Mayor and Deputy Mayor. My name is Adam McSwain, CEO of Golden Plains Shire Council. In accordance with Council's governance rules, I will be the temporary chairperson for the beginning of the meeting. Tonight, this council meeting, which is open to the public, is taking place in the council chambers at the Golden Plains Shire Council Civic Centre in Bannockburn. This meeting is being live streamed in accordance with Council's governance rules, and I welcome any viewers joining us online. As the meeting is open to the public to attend, if the live stream ceases at any time, the meeting will continue. Golden Plains Shire spans the traditional lands of the Wadawurrung and Eastern Maar people. Council acknowledges them as the traditional owners and custodians and pays its respects to both Wadawurrung and Eastern Maar elders, past and present. The Council extends that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are part of Golden Plains Shire. Now, councillors, we move on to apologies and leave of absence. Are there any apologies for this meeting or requests for leave of absence? Thank you. Next is conflicts of interest. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest, noting that Section 7 of the Local Government Regulations 2020 provides that the information for election of a mayor or deputy mayor is exempt from conflict of interest? Take it there's probably none. Thank you. So we'll now move through, councillors, to consider the formal agenda. And just before doing that, obviously, firstly, we'd just like to acknowledge and thank Councillor Owen Sharkey for all of his work over the last few months as Mayor, and obviously for me coming in as a new CEO for all of the support he's provided as Mayor across that period, but of course also acknowledge Councillor Sarah Hayden and Councillor Helena Kirby for their contributions as Mayor across the past 12 months as well. So councillors, I now refer you to page 6 of the agenda, and this report is the determination of the length of term. So the purpose of this report is for Council to determine the length of term for the Mayor and, if established, the Deputy Mayor. Under the Act, Council must determine whether the Mayor is to be elected for a 1-year or a 2-year term. Council's governance rules provide that the term of Deputy Mayor is identical to the term of the Mayor. And the recommendation is that Council resolves that the term of Mayor, and if the position has been established, Deputy Mayor for 25-26, will be for a period of 1 year until the next scheduled council meeting for the mayoral elections in November 2026. Are there any questions? Do I have a mover of the recommendation? Yep, Councillor Phelan. And a seconder? Councillor Cook. Councillor Phelan, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No. Going on from last year's annual meeting, that was decided then to be a 1-year term, and I think we're just continuing on.
Perfect, thank you. Councillor Cook? To speak to? No. All good. Any councillors who wish to speak against the motion? Excellent. So I'll now put the motion. All those in favour? The motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. So next, councillors, I refer you to page 8 of the agenda, which is the election of the Mayor. The election of the Mayor does not require a motion or resolution. It is an election process provided by the governance rules in accordance with the Act. The votes cast by each councillor are recorded in the minutes regardless of a division being called, in accordance with Rule 65 of the governance rules. In accordance with Council's governance rules, all nominations for the position of Mayor were required to be submitted in writing by a date and time set by the CEO, which was 3 p.m. Friday, 7th of November 2025. I will now read the names of the councillors who have been nominated for the position of Mayor and ask if they accept the nomination in the order in which nominations were received. Nominations do not require a seconder. Councillors, once you accept your nomination, you are considered a candidate and can no longer withdraw your candidature. Nomination 1, Councillor Sharkey, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. And nomination number 2, Councillor Kirby, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Excellent, thank you. So each candidate may address Council for up to 5 minutes about their candidacy as Mayor. No questions or debate will be permitted following candidate speeches, except for the purposes of clarification. An alarm will sound at the 5-minute mark, at which point candidates will be asked to conclude. Councillor Sharkey, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you very much. Councillors, a mayoral vote isn't decided in a 3-minute speech. It's not about how polished or passionate or persuasive this speech might sound. We all know that. The truth is this decision was made, before we walk in here to this room tonight, we're judged on the days, the weeks and the months and the lead up to moments like this by the way we've conducted ourselves, by the way we've worked together and the way we've represented our communities. Out in the community, some people judge us by the events we attend or the functions we miss, and that's fair enough. But around this table, amongst colleagues, we judge each other on something deeper. Respect. Respect for one another, even when we disagree. Respect for our officers who work behind the scenes. Respect for the people standing, presenting their ideas and experiences. Respect for the reports placed before us, not just as pages of text, but appreciating that is someone's hard work, expertise and time expressed in those reports. Reading those reports, doing the homework and entering into this chamber prepared isn't simply procedure, it's respect. Respect is found in meaningful debate, in listening to views that challenge our own, and in contributing thoughtfully without belittling those who offer us the same courtesy. It's about tone, conduct, and the way we carry ourselves, especially when the community is watching, and even more importantly, when they're not. Over the past year, I believe I've demonstrated these values consistently. I've worked to collaborate, to ask the difficult questions when required, and to support officers and councillors where needed. Not for recognition, but because that's what leadership demands. As we move into the next term, we are facing real challenges, infrastructure pressures, financial sustainability, housing needs, community expectations, and the constant demand to do more with less. These issues can only be navigated by a council that respects each other's strengths, communicates honestly, and pulls in the same direction. If given the honour to serve as Mayor, I will continue exactly as I have before this 3-minute speech. Appropriate, open, willing to learn and committed to steady leadership. I won't be the loudest voice in the room, but I'll work to ensure that every voice is heard. I won't promise what can't be delivered, but I'll do everything possible to deliver what's been promised. And I'll do so not just because it's expected of me, but because I want to feel valued by you. As colleagues, as partners, and as a team working together towards the same outcome. That sense of value doesn't come from titles, it comes from how we treat each other, how we collaborate, and how we show mutual respect. Councillors, my commitment is simple: respect, accountability, and consistency, not just tonight, but every day afterwards. Thank you very much, and I look forward to our continuing servicing the people who have placed the trust in us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sharkey. Councillor Kirby, would you like to speak?
Thank you. We are now 12 months into our term as elected representatives. If elected Mayor, my first priority will be reconnecting with the residents as a councillor group. We have 56 communities and 52 weeks in the year, which means we can hold public meetings at every town throughout the Shire, whether it be small or large towns. A commitment once a week is not hard to ask of the councillors, and especially myself. Financial accountability and making good hard decisions are high on my agenda for council. Advocacy for the next 12 months is crucial, and I believe that my commitment as the role of Mayor will be a challenge that I will not take lightly. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kirby. Councillor, so we'll now call for votes by a show of hand. So noting under the Local Government Act 2020, a candidate must receive an absolute majority of votes to be elected. In our case, this is 4 votes. I now call for a show of hands for votes for Councillor Sharkey. 1, 2, 3, 5. And a show of hands for votes for Councillor Kirby. Having put the matter to the vote, I declare that Councillor Owen Sharkey has received the absolute majority of votes and has been duly elected as Mayor of Golden Plains Shire Council for 2025-2026. Congratulations, Councillor Sharkey. As the newly elected Mayor, you may make a speech for up to 10 minutes to outline priorities for the year ahead. I now invite you to assume the role of Chair for your speech and for the remainder of the meeting. And congratulations.
Dare not take up 10 minutes. Thank you very much. Councillors, community members, friends and family, thank you for being here tonight. I'm deeply humbled to stand before you as the Mayor of Golden Plains Shire. This is a role of immense responsibility, and I'm very aware that it is one that cannot be carried alone. I want to start by acknowledging those closest to me, my mother, my father, my wife, and my 3 wonderful daughters, one of which is here tonight and surprised me tonight, so thank you very much, as my wife is running around with kids and other duties tonight, and thank you very much, Mayor, for coming on. Thank you. And my daughter and family, and that who always who continue to be my foundation. Your support, guidance and inspiration keeps me grounded, and I truly appreciate that. I want to thank the people in the room here tonight, my fellow councillors, council staff and the many community members who have contributed to our shared vision. Your dedication, collaboration and professionalism set the standard of what good local government can achieve. As we look to the year ahead, we must recognise the decisions made by those who have come before us. Our elders have made strong and at times courageous choices that have put Golden Plains Shire in the position we are here today. Decisions that have proven to be solid examples, foresight and leadership, presenting real opportunities that we are now tasked with the responsibility of managing. Without these decisions, we would be facing some of the tougher long-term challenges much sooner, including inevitably the consideration of a rate cap variation. Now, let me be clear, that is not something that will occur in the next 12 months or this term or possibly the next. But at some point, it is inevitable. At some stage, we will need to address this. Rates are rising by 2 to 3% each year, yet inflationary pressures, wage growth, infrastructure costs and escalating service demands far exceed that. Each year our community tightens its belt and we must be mindful of the cumulative impact on households. I commit to a council willing to make tough decisions that may not always be popular, but which are necessary to ensure that any rate cap variation is postponed for as long as possible. We owe it to our residents to plan prudently, act decisively and maintain the financial health of our shire while continuing to deliver essential services. We are also being forced to pivot and seek innovative solutions to meet these challenges. Emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence are an area we should be exploring, asking how they can create efficiencies in our operations, improve service delivery and ultimately deliver better outcomes for our community. Innovation is no longer optional, it is essential. At the same time, community consultation will continue to play a critical role in how we shape our direction. Our residents expect to be heard, to be included and to be respected in decision making. We must continue to lift our expectations both internally in how we deliver and communicate, and externally in how our community engages with us. Strong consultation builds trust, strengthens transparency, and ensures that the decisions we make reflect not only what is needed, but is what is valued. Transport remains without doubt our top priority in terms of advocacy. Across our Shire, residents seek more public transport, safer roads and increased bus services. Our youth in particular are affected, unable to access jobs, education or training due to transport barriers. Addressing these inadequacies is essential to providing opportunity for everyone across our Shire. As we move towards an election year, advocacy becomes more critical. The CEO and I have already met and engaged with all local members of Parliament, outlining the key challenges facing Golden Plains, from infrastructure gaps to the rising costs of maintaining our rural road network, to housing pressures, sustainability demands, growth impacts and the cost of living concerns. We have made it clear that while our communities are proud of their identity and rural character, they also hold a strong vision for a growing and thriving region. This year provides a unique opportunity to secure commitments that reflect that vision. We will continue to press for investment that keeps pace with growth, supports equitable access, protects what makes our township special and delivers real measurable outcomes for residents across the length of our Shire. In the last 3 months, we have welcomed our new CEO, Mr. Adam McSwain, and I want to publicly acknowledge the way Adam has emerged himself in our communities. He has already built strong relationships with staff, fellow councillors and business owners and community leaders. For me, the role of CEO is not just about management, it is about engagement, being present and offering connection with our communities, and Adam has shown a commitment in doing so over the past 3 months. Business growth across the Shire is another priority. We need to strengthen our ties with local operators, support emerging industries and create opportunities for innovation. During an election year, we must amplify our advocacy, not just to government, but through our communities, by empowering our residents, business leaders and community groups to have a voice. We ensure Golden Plains is heard and its needs are met. I'd like to also acknowledge my fellow councillors, a group capable of healthy debate, robust discussions and respectful decision making. We may not always agree, but we are united by our shared commitment to the community. I see this unity as our strength, and it will be critical as we navigate through tough decisions ahead. Together we will ensure that Golden Plains remains a Shire that is financially sustainable, strategically visionary and aligned with our aspirations of our community. As Mayor, I commit to serving with integrity, courage and collaboration. I commit to making the hard decisions, advocating strongly for our community and empowering all voices of our Shire. And above all, I commit to ensuring that every decision we make strengthens Golden Plains for those who call it home today and for the generations to come. Thank you very much. I refer councillors to page 10 of the agenda for this report. And the next item for Council's decision tonight is the establishment of the position of Deputy Mayor for the 25-26 year. The Local Government Act 2020 provides that a council may establish an office of Deputy Mayor. Councillors, are there any questions? I have a mover to a motion's recommendation, moving Councillor Hayden, moving the recommendation, and seconding Councillor Cook. Councillor Hayden, thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues and fellow councillors, tonight I am supporting the creation of a Deputy Mayor because I believe it will strengthen governance, continuity and community representation without adding complexity to our structure. Under Victoria's Local Government Act 2020, councils may establish a Deputy Mayor. Where a council does so, the Deputy Mayor is elected by councillors and can perform the Mayor's role whenever the Mayor is unavailable, through illness, leave, vacancy or conflict of interest. This is a practical resilience measure that keeps meetings lawful, decisions timely and representation consistent. The Deputy Mayor also shares the leadership workload, sharing meetings when required, representing council at community and regional forums and supporting portfolio work. It's sensible risk management. In emergencies, peak event periods or during caretaker and budget cycles, we've got a trained second in command ready to step up. Financially, allowances are set independently by the Victorian Independent Remuneration Tribunal and capped under the Act. Creating this office doesn't create open-ended costs or extra salaries beyond what the tribunal determines for all 79 councils. Finally, this aligns us with sector practice. Most Victorian councils, in fact the vast majority now, have elected a deputy mayor each term, and adopting a deputy mayor brings us into line with contemporary governance across the state. For good governance, continuity of leadership and better service to our community and across our vast shire, I commend this motion.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hayden. Councillor Cook.
Mr. Mayor, I think it's a very... I think establishment of the position of Deputy Mayor is a right and proper thing, but not only on a procedural basis, but more on a humanistic level. The Mayor, from my observations, is pretty much a full-time position. And it's not only a full-time position for what you've got to go and do, it's also a full-time position for access by other people. And it has been demonstrated during the course of this year that access can occur at any time. And I don't think that it's fair that the Mayor should be subjected to 24/7, 52 weeks a year rights of access. Now, I'm sure the Mayor is very keen to do that, but as observed by his family member in the thing, it is just not fair or right that people should not be able to step away and have a holiday, have a break, they're feeling ill and not have someone adequately trained and authorised to step into that position and undertake those duties when and as required. And I think this provides a safety valve, an alternate, and a good experience for a Deputy Mayor to step in and take over or do the Mayor's duties when and as required, so that really it benefits the Golden Plains Shire by having an A and a B option. And I commend this to the Council.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cook. Is there any councillors wanting to speak against the motion? Councillor Gamble.
Should we have a deputy mayor? Well, in the past I've supported the position, but I've got to weigh up what's best for ratepayers. I supported the position until it was abolished 2 years ago. The reasons I supported the deputy mayor role at the time were to help ensure backup for the mayor at a time of much inter-councillor conflict. Also, to help ensure fair coverage and representation for our northern and western residents. Given last term we only had one councillor in the north, but now we have two. I supported the deputy mayor position then, but I can't justify support for the position now, given we now have two councillors from the north of the Shire, already providing great representation, in addition to Councillor Kirby, who's always covered more than just the middle. And given the struggle we are now in, like many rural shires, to be financially sustainable, it's just not the right thing to do, particularly at this point in time. I note the last meeting, we unfortunately had to approve a revised budget with the first ever overdraft capacity. We are asking much of staff and the organisation, and we'll be doing a lot of asking going forward, to implement great fiscal restraint for the next few years. I fear services will be reduced. The Deputy Mayor position will cost an extra $20,000 to $25,000 per year. As a council, we have increased the powers of delegation to spread responsibilities amongst the councillors. That includes being able for people to step in, other councillors, for chairing meetings and duties. Plus, the CEO can represent the council too. I would be somewhat surprised if Mayor Sharkey were to support this re-establishment of the Deputy Mayor position, given 2 years ago when he moved the motion.
Order, Councillor Gambier, there's a motion. There's no point singling out councillors to have an attack. It's not an internal debate. Speak to the motion.
Okay, I'll just finish then. As Councillor Sharkey mentioned
Point
in
of
the
order,
past,
Councillor Gamble. I've ruled you out of line. The point of this debate is to speak to the motion.
I'm presenting reasons
personally
why.
Attacking fellow councillors, and it's not.
I'm quoting it. I'm not attacking. Quote: the 20,000 could be put into the community, such as crossing supervisors. Quote: the mayor is now getting 50% more than 3 years ago. You said you'd expect 50% more. And also, we could all chip in to share the load. These are all reasons that I don't believe that we can afford or should have a deputy mayor at this point in time. Thank you.
Anyone like to speak to the motion? Councillor Robbins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the past year, we've seen what happens when there isn't a clear second in command. We had an acting mayoral election in April that ended in a deadlock, confusion over who should lead, and unnecessary public drama. Had there been a deputy mayor, succession would have been immediate and uncontentious, and the community would have seen seamless leadership instead of disruption. When we decided not to elect a deputy mayor last year, some councillors argue that the role doesn't provide value for money and doesn't warrant the additional allowance. I think that view misses the purpose and the potential of the position. The deputy mayor's value depends entirely on how we, the councillor group, choose to define and use the role, and on how the elected person chooses to embody it. If we want the deputy mayor to be an active support to the mayor, to help build a cohesive and effective councillor team, and to step up confidently when required, it's up to us to make that happen. We also heard last year that we didn't need a deputy because we would all chip in and do our part to support the mayor. In practice, though, we saw how difficult it can be for a mayor to lead effectively without consistent support from across the group. My hope is that a deputy will support the mayor in fostering a constructive group culture, share the leadership workload, assist in strategic discussions, and help build the capacity of the councillor group. This should be our expectation no matter who is elected to the position. I'd like to see us early in the term sit down together and talk through what we expect of the role, what kind of support the mayor would find most useful, and how the deputy mayor could make the councillor group more effective. I don't think any of my colleagues should have to fear taking a position on this issue that differs from what they've argued in past years. I would remind my colleagues that it is literally our job to keep an open mind, to be prepared to reconsider our position if new evidence or arguments are put to us. Yes, we need to manage our money wisely, but that doesn't mean we can't invest in our future. It means we need to make sure every dollar we spend provides value. Having a deputy mayor is one of the lowest cost things we can do. It's already budgeted for, and it's an investment in stability and leadership. We should establish the position of deputy mayor, not as a token role, but as a practical one, and make the most of how we define and use the position. That's the responsible choice for the year ahead. Thank you.
Would anyone like to speak against the motion? Anyone like to speak for the motion? Nobody speaking on it. I'll put the motion to a vote. All those in favour of the motion? Motion is carried. Those against? The motion is carried. Councillors, item 3.4, election of a deputy mayor. I refer councillors to page 11 of the agenda. The election of the deputy mayor is is nice and does not require a motion or resolution. It is an election process provided by governance rules in accordance with the Act. All votes cast by each councillor are recorded in the minutes regardless of a division being called in accordance with Rule 65 of the governance rules. In accordance with Council's governance rules, all nominations for the position of Mayor were required to be submitted in writing by a date and time set by the CEO, which was 3 p.m. Friday the 7th of November. Councillors, we have 2 nominations before us for Deputy Mayor. I will ask each nominee if they accept their nomination in the order that nominations were received. Councillor Kirby, do you accept the nomination?
I do, thank you.
And Councillor Robbins, do you accept the nomination?
I do, thank you.
Each candidate may address the council for up to 5 minutes about their candidacy as Deputy Mayor. No questions or debate will be permitted following candidate speeches, except for the purposes of clarification. An alarm bell will sound at the 5-minute mark, at which point candidates will be asked to conclude. Councillor Kirby, would you like to speak?
Just clarification, please, as to who nominated first through the CEO.
Thank you, Councillor Kirby, through Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that's correct. It should be Councillor Robbins and then Councillor Kirby.
Thank you.
You don't want to speak?
Oh, I do, but I'm second in line to Councillor Robbins.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Councillor Robbins, would you like to speak?
Thank you. Since being elected to council, I've worked hard to be a diligent, capable and constructive councillor. I put in the effort to come to meetings well informed. I ask questions, I scrutinise, I make sure councillors have the information and support they need to make confident decisions. In short, I take this role extremely seriously. Over the next year, I'd like the opportunity to bring that same commitment to the role of Deputy Mayor. I've already spoken about what I believe the role can be: supporting the Mayor in fostering constructive group culture, sharing the leadership workload, assisting in strategic discussions, and helping to build the capacity of our councillor group. I believe I'm the right person to deliver on that vision. During my first 12 months on council, I've taken a particular interest in improving how councillors engage with the budget process, making it more collaborative and ensuring we have all the information and confidence to take ownership of those decisions. I would continue that focus as Deputy Mayor. I approach this role with a growth mindset, always looking for ways to improve how I serve our communities and how we work together as a group. I think leadership in local government requires that willingness to keep learning, adapting and listening, because the challenges we face as councils are constantly changing. I also see the Deputy Mayor position as a valuable opportunity to grow my leadership skills, to build experience that will help me serve this council even more effectively in the future. That's not about ambition, it's about readiness, being prepared to step up when needed with the skills and confidence to do it well. Because experience does matter, but it's most valuable when it's paired with curiosity, humility, and a commitment to good governance. That's the kind of leadership I aim to bring. Most importantly, I see the Deputy Mayor's role as one of service to the Mayor, to my fellow councillors, and to the communities we represent. If I'm elected, that's the approach I'll take every day. Steady, fair, collaborative, and focused on helping this council be its best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Robbins. Councillor Kirby, would you like to speak?
Thank you. I am asking my fellow councillors to consider myself in the role as Deputy Mayor. I have the passion and the commitment for this position and the experience to lead the council in this role for the next 12 months as required. Yes, at times we do need a deputy to step up in the role of acting mayor, but during my time at council, it has been few and far between when it has been called for. In the past, all councillors have been asked to fill in if the mayor is unavailable, and we have done this successfully. If I'm elected deputy, I'm not asking for a higher allowance, but would only do it under a councillor allowance. The extra $20,000 is better spent on roads and infrastructure that is so desperately needed in this Shire. Thank you for your consideration, councillors.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kirby. Councillors, put it to a vote. All those in favour of Councillor Robbins? And I have a majority having and then Councillor, all those in favour of Councillor Kirby? Thank you. Having put the matter to a vote, I declare that Councillor Robbins has received the absolute majority of votes and has been duly elected as Deputy Mayor of the Golden Plains Shire for 25-26. Congratulations, Councillor Robbins. So, as well, we do does the Deputy Mayor get a 22 minutes, mate? Did you want to say anything, Councillor Robbins?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And yes, I will. And thank you to my fellow councillors for your confidence and support. It's a privilege to serve as the Deputy Mayor of Golden Plains Shire for the year ahead. I take this responsibility seriously and I see it as an opportunity to help strengthen the way we work together as a team and as representatives of our community. My priority for the coming year will be to help our group navigate the tough decisions that lie ahead. The next 12 months will bring financial pressures, competing priorities, and at times difficult trade-offs. My focus will be on making sure those decisions are guided by robust information, sound analysis, and wherever possible, open discussion, so that every councillor and every resident can have confidence that our choices are well-founded. As Deputy Mayor, my aim is to help create the conditions for good decision-making, calm, informed, transparent, and forward-looking. And if I can leave a legacy in this role, I hope it will be in how the position is approached, by showing that the Deputy Mayor can be both a partner in leadership and a contributor in their own right. I'd like to model what the role can be, someone who helps the whole group to grow in confidence and capability. I'm proud to be part of this council and this Shire. Together we have the chance to demonstrate that local government can be both responsible and responsive, careful with resources but ambitious for our future. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve. I look forward to working with all of you in the year ahead.
Thank you very much. Councillor Robbins, thank you. That being no further items of business, I now declare the meeting closed at 6.